Hello guys, it's coffee on a Wednesday and vlog 3. So this week I had to face something which I've been avoiding for a while, my finances. And I know what you're thinking. What finances, Nilay? Fair point, I'm broke. I'm still trying to build a company with almost no money while working in a restaurant, paying rent in London, which you know is not the cheapest. Trying to sort out my visa situation, which I did somewhat, and somehow also sending money back home. I'm basically just a boy trying to be a man, but that's life, isn't it? Most of the glamorous startup stories skip this part. They talk about raising millions or building products in a fancy offices. They rarely talk about standing in your kitchen at midnight wondering whether you should pay rent first or should you send money to your parents first. Like 6 7, what do I do? That's where my head has been this week, and strangely enough that's exactly where I got my new idea from. One thing I've realized while building this project is that technology isn't enough. Anyone can make another smartwatch, anyone can build another health app. The world does not need another piece of technology, it needs reason for people to actually use it. That's probably the hardest part of healthcare innovation. Most public health innovations fail not because the science is bad, but because human behavior is difficult to change. People don't wake up thinking, how can I improve vaccination today? Like, how can I do that? They wake up thinking, how do I pay my bills? How do I support my family? How do I even survive another week? And that has been a brutal reality for a lot of Londoners here. I know that. I've seen them. So maybe I'm asking the wrong questions. Maybe instead of trying to convince people to take care about their health, we should just connect health to something that they already care about deeply. For me, that's sending money home. Every month, I transfer money back to India. Every time I do it, I feel the same thing: stress. Did I enter the account number correctly? How much am I losing in exchange rates? How much disappears in like fees before the money even reaches home? If you ever sent money internationally, you know exactly what I mean. And I'm far from alone. Millions of immigrants send back money to their families every single month. In fact, remittances, which is basically people from wealthier countries sending money back to the country of origin, where they are from, which is usually not that wealthy country. Uh, so millions of immigrants still do that, and in fact, remittances have become one of the biggest financial flaws in the world. In many of the countries, they exceed foreign aid. In the UK, I know for a fact that it exceeds the foreign aid that the UK provides to all the countries, and for countless families, they pay the food, education, healthcare, and housing through this. It's one of the most direct ways of money that money improves lives. Yet every transfer comes with a friction. Bank charges fees, money transfer service charges fees, exchange rates quietly eat away your savings. The exact amount depends on where you are sending money. But globally, average cost is still well above what international organizations have been trying to achieve for years now. The UN Sustainable Development Goal include a target of reducing remittances cost to below 3%, yet many of the corridors still remain significantly more expensive. The UK, depending on the destination and provider, can average around 6%. That may not sound like much, but imagine losing £6 every 100 you earn, month after month, year after year. That made me wonder, what if my product didn't just measure health? What if it rewarded it? Imagine governments, development banks, or organizations that already care so deeply about public health partnering with financial institutions. Imagine communities where people use my variable to monitor hand hygiene and vaccination status, not to punish individual, but to create a community health score. If that community consistently reaches agreed public health targets, right, then everyone in that community unlocks lower remittance fees. health becomes valuable in a very tangible way. Not because someone tells you to wash your hands, but because doing so would save your family some money. And that's a completely different incentive. Think about it. Government spends enormous amount responding to outbreaks after they happen. Hospitals deal with preventable infections every single day. Development organizations invest billions trying to improve health outcomes. If preventative behavior reduces diseases, everyone saves money somewhere. What if some of those savings were shared directly with the people creating them? Instead of rewarding illnesses after it happens, rewarding prevention before it happens. Now, this idea obviously raises a lot of questions. How do we protect the privacy? How do you even make sure nobody is excluded unfairly? How do you even stop people from gaming the system? Those aren't small problems. Those are probably the hardest parts. But every ambitious, every ambitious idea starts by asking, what if? Not by pretending the implementation is already solved. So then another thought crossed my mind. Maybe the incentives don't have to be fixed. Maybe they are dynamic. Imagine every community has a public health score based on anonymous aggregated data. As hygiene improves, fees gradually decrease. If health metrics decline, the discount disappears, not as a punishment, more like a loyalty program for public health. You already accepted loyalty program points for coffee, airline miles, cashback rewards. Why not reward healthier communities the same way? I don't know if this is the right answer. It might not even be a good one. Maybe someone watching this would explain me exactly why it would never work. And honestly, I really hope they do, because that's the kind of the point I'm trying to make through this series. I'm building in public. You're watching very terrible idea, every good idea, and every weird idea in between. This isn't me pretending to have all the answers. It's just me thinking out loud. Sometimes I worry I'm trying to solve too many problems at once: healthcare, vaccines, hand hygiene, artificial intelligence, financial incentives, global development. Maybe that's too ambitious. Or maybe all these problems were connected from the beginning and we have just been solving them in isolation. I genuinely don't know. One thing I do know is people don't change because we ask them nicely. People change because changes. Economics changes behavior. Convenience changes behavior. Social norms change behavior. Maybe maybe healthcare should learn from all these three. And as I've always said, once I put out these ideas on YouTube, they're yours too. Take them, improve them, tell me they're ridiculous, build something better. I don't want to own every single idea that I put out here. I just want someone somewhere to keep the flame alive. Because if one of these random thoughts eventually helps someone improve lives, I honestly don't care whose name ends up attached to it. So, with everything, this is me signing off. I'll see you next week. As always, bisu bisu. Just in case if you don't remember, the short story competition is still active, and links would be down below. The theme is a future without diseases, and the prize would be, you can see the prize, it's your 6 months rent or like whatever mortgage you have, up to £10,000. So yeah, please do sign up for that. Let me know. I'll see you soon. Bye.